Hi, I'm Mary and these are my teammates, Maria, Tommy, Lilu, Paula, Ángel, and Carla, and we are the delegation of Colegio Internacional Alminar from Spain.
Back in the Neolithic period, the territory where Spain is now is home to a site called La Draga, Catalonia. It dates back to over 7,300 years, and together with the settlement huts, we can find pits that were used as landfills.
The percentage of garbage that ends up in landfills in Spain, 61%, it's double the European average, 33%. Look also at the high percentage of Catalonia, 46%, and to the main cities around the world, 56%, also way above the average.
What is a landfill and how does it work? Roughly speaking, it is a controlled waste deposit that is waterproof and it has a system for capturing biogas. Worldwide, it is estimated that the 10% of urban waste ends up in uncontrolled dumpsters. In Spain, nearly 10% of waste does not undergo any sort of treatment. It is very common to see the uncontrolled and illegal dumping in fields and mountains. Some such examples are the Abanilla Landfill, the Campoamor Landfill, closed now but still contaminated, and ZALDÍVAR Landfill. There are 61 illegal dumpsters in Spain. We recommend you to watch the documentary Trashed, where a dump in Syria directly contaminates the Mediterranean Sea. Here you have the link.
According to the World Bank, the emission produced by landfills worldwide will be of 3.4 billion tons by 2050. That means an increase of 70% in 30 years. However, there is some light at the end of the tunnel, since much of the waste we generate ends up having a second life, thanks to the help of citizens who separate and recycle at home. But for the time being, we still have a great job to do in terms of waste management, as the vast majority of garbage ends up in landfills. In comparison, landfills contain about 40% of the world's waste. The largest 50 affect the daily lives of 64 million people. That is the entire population of France.
Before storing debris, the terrain is given an adequate geometry with excavator machines and coated with an artificial waterproof coating to prevent debris from decontaminating the soil. The law states that landfills must be located away from inhabited areas, growing areas, and drinking water.
Garbage is compacted by mobile equipment to take up as little space as possible and is covered with layers of soil so that it is buried and its decomposition begins. The impact has affected in 4 factors. These are environment, wildlife, economy, and health. Landfills have their share of responsibility for global warming on the planet because they generate and emit biogas into the atmosphere, a mixture formed about all by methane gas and carbon dioxide. Landfill will account for 10% of greenhouse gas emissions by 2025.
Uncontrolled spontaneous combustions are also very harmful to the environment. Without the harmful effect these burnings can have on aquifers because waterproofing membranes are affected by fire.
Landfills alter wildlife and pose a clear threat to the environment by causing loss of habitats and the displacement of fauna. They present negative effects on bird migration. Some birds feed in landfills and inevitably ingest plastics, aluminum, plasterboard, and other materials.
Landfills are disrupting birds' migration activity, but not only is it harmful because it represents a deadly diet for them, but the offspring themselves already tend to ignore traditional migratory behaviors and become an increasingly serious generational problem. Socioeconomic impact of landfills is present in everyday lives of surrounding inhabitants, communities, and businesses. Insects, odors, smoke, and noise are frequently the reason why people do not want to reside close to landfills. They have an adverse negative impact upon housing values and the depreciation of both residential and commercial spaces.
The impact on health is even more important. There is risk of disease, contamination of the food chain, reduced life expectancy, and even the death of human beings.
Examples of tragedies occurred in landfills are, for example, the one in March 2017 when Ethiopia's Addis Ababa landfills collapsed and 113 people died. Also, 1 month later, in the same year, on April 2017, the landfill disaster of Methathamuya, Sri Lanka, left 30 deaths, dozens of missing, and more than 140 homes destroyed. In Spain, in February of this year, a tragic event occurred in Zaldívar, Vizcaya, northern Spain. 2 workers died after a huge collapse of the landfill. Their bodies are still somewhere beneath the remains. These are some pictures of Joaquin and Alberto. This was Joaquin, and this was Alberto. As we can see, many people have protested so that the research for their bodies continue. These accidents made people very sad, and it got to the hearts of lots of people of the city and of the rest of Spain.
This is the story of Alberto and Joaquin.